by your style, rap. A 50 on hour. I say through the skies, yeah. I spend every time. Look at their faces, they all stuff. 10,000 a time. Play with these rats, I'm a borrow plug. Flow like a butterfly, Lambo the beat. I take a shop in a pair of the seats. You see me popping, they staring at me. This ring, it cost me a hair on a key. I told my dentist to carrot my teeth. We racking the Bottega V. This Margiela 2003. Push started, you know I ain't least. But guess, I'm cool on her, on the catch. She do what I say, she gon' fetch. I'm in this without regrets. Jimmy and my coupe, I SS. I drill when I walk, I'm possessed. This rose look good on my flesh. These Rolls Royce back to back, yes. I'm floating on this shit like a jet ski. Come on, can't test me. In Florence, Dubai next week. She chocolate, she like Nestle. Got broccoli, pockets is healthy. Binoculars and they Balenci. With the lid read, I'm trying to make 200 M, please. 100, walk around with 10 to D. VS Stone, sit back, stroll. Pull up Rolls truck, I'm rocking the Rolls one. Platinum and stones, I might have a stones, yeah. Still going chrome, yeah. I got the on, yeah. I got the on now. If you buy your style, rap. A 50 on hour. I see through the skies, yeah. I spend every time. Look at their faces, they all stuff. 10,000 a time. Play with these rats, I'm a borrow plug. When trade my team, I could never be a trader. Like Raiders, we ball, never thought they'd rate us. I'm going about to drop them in label, but putting in this label, I ain't asking for favors. Drop me on smash the Raiders. Ain't no big out of ass tangle. No interviews, ask me later. Like take off, I'd rather be rich than famous, yes. Might go catch JoJo to protect. Oh no, could be cool to collect. My diamonds and gold in the chest. Hit down me a Louis V chest. Put it on, I can go down me a R&B Virgil, he gave me the credit. 10 years from now, look back on the shit, and I promise I'm doing my best. Big growth, NCS iconic. Let's go, let's count up this money. Good loaf, the bread and the butter. The toast, now ain't that ironic. I'm digging it up, being thrown, and she hate when I go. She hook on like funny. I float, I'm smoking on this chronic. Eat diamonds, hit when it's signing. VS Stone, sit back, stroll. Pull up Rolls truck, I'm rocking the Rolls one. Platinum and stones, I might have a stones, yeah. Still going chrome, yeah. I got the on, yeah. I got the on now.
Today, we're going to talk about the CBB and NBA slates. We're going to touch on the ice a little bit, and we might even craft up a PrizePicks lineup for tonight. This is Behind the Lines. I mean, Chucky Hepburn had Boopy Miller in jail. It was tough to watch. Maybe the worst game I've ever seen. Boopy Miller missing layups left and right. Couldn't cover a parked car. You got Chucky Hepburn jacking up threes. Didn't have a chance because for some reason, I don't know why, but in hockey, a 2-goal lead is actually like losing. It might be worse than losing. You might as well be losing because a 2-goal lead is never safe.
This feels like a game where Ohio State can make this weirdly close, but it's a game where you look at it and you're like, okay, Purdue should dominate at home, and you turn it on because it's a tied game with 3 minutes left and Ohio State's fighting. I think this is going to be a close game when really on paper it shouldn't be at all.
And then I see this quote from the coach, his starting center, Tomislav. He literally said, deathly ill. The kid's sitting on your fucking bench. What are you talking about? He's deathly ill. He looks fine to me. And if he is that sick, why is he sitting next to the rest of your team? Are the neurons in your brain not functioning? What's going on up there in Illinois? What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Monday, episode 649 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your host, Krabs. No Jovan today. He's got some family stuff going on, but I'll be back tomorrow. Okay, no stress, no worries. We appreciate you guys. And as always, presented by SeatGeek. If you have not typed in the promo code Bookit10 in your SeatGeek app, today could be a good day to do it. All right, plug that puppy in before you forget. And that way, when you're buying your opening day tickets, that way when you're buying college basketball tickets, whatever you need, you plug that code in and you get 10% off every future purchase. Do it now before you forget. All right, promo code Bookit10 on SeatGeek. Great ticket app over there. All right, W Nerfy Chad coming in hot with the resub. Love to see it. Love to see it. And yes, I want to shout out Trent and Lauren for taking care of business last night. I've been trying to be good on Sundays, recharge the batteries, put the phone away Sunday night. If I saw Lauren and Trent's texts, I would have gotten in there. But happy they took care of it, and we don't need to give that bozo any more time. But W Lauren, W Trent, okay? And W Mount, Nerfy Chat. Sure. Yes, the Mount came through. W win. I'm so excited for the MAC tournament. It's going to be great. Not the MAC, the MAC. All right, 2 ways. Could not be more excited. Okay. Why don't we go ahead and hop into the recaps? Why don't we do a squad ride recap from Friday? W play, Texas State. Sure we can. Sure we can. Sure we can. Let's fucking go, Jovan. It was always the Bobcats. Let's go. Another great game. Every time we take this Texas State team, I mean, they put on an absolute clinic, and the games are just unbelievable. W Godsend coming in. W boys, got to play for you. Deebo, under 6.5 games played, -120. Okay. Anybody see Darius Slade just got cut? Certainly that means Myles Garrett's going to the Eagles. -1,000, he doesn't. Okay. Mook 827 coming in resubbing. Tiffany Hayes, over 13.5 points. Wow. Back off of no restrictions. Shot 3 for 11 last game. W Mook getting in the lab. W resub as well. Okay. Let's go Z Shrek getting the Bookit hats. Love to see that beast. Yeah, I won't listen to another Kent State sell job for the rest of CBB. That's fair, OG Sour. That is more than fair. Why don't we check out the Sharp report from Friday, do some recapping, and there it is. And there it is. Hey. Kent State ruined a pretty darn good night. You can't make it up. The two X's up here on the left sector gates, Kent State and Fletcher Lawyer. It's my own damn fault. Why am I putting those two people or teams in the Sharp report?
To be honest with you, you were never getting Richie Saunders and Fletcher Lawyer same square. I don't know if you're
those. You're probably right. That's a good point. Yeah. Probably needed to hear that before the Sharp report, but yes, Goots, great point. I was never getting both of those. Okay. And certainly was not getting Kent State and Fletcher Lawyer less than. Didn't even get either. Didn't get one. Unbelievable. All right. Kent State cake. Everything else looked pretty darn good, though. All right, we got a loaded slate today as well. W college basketball slate. We'll talk a little bit about the ASUN. They're the only conference tourney going on today. We'll talk a little bit about it. Before we do, though, and we're going to get to an MLB lineup potentially as well, see if we can craft up some sort of MLB sweat for today. W Flatwoods fella coming in, resubbing as well. Let's go, Flatwoods. Attaboy. And like T-Bone saying in the chats, yes, squad ride smacked. Nothing else matters. Not going to sit up here and do backflips or cartwheels. You know, we didn't go 5-0 last week on squad rides, but we were in the green last week on squad rides. We did not have a good month in February, but we closed the month out strong. And I have a feeling we're going to have an unbelievable March. Can we start out tonight with a winner? Please. Okay, W Flatwoods fella resubbing. We appreciate you, Beast. We appreciate you. No Jovan today, guys. We'll be back. He'll be back tomorrow. Okay, no stress. Krabs, how about that Sunday yesterday? Great day yesterday. Great day yesterday. Okay. Enough talking about the past, though, because I want to get to some winners for today. Before we do, I want to talk a little bit about this big trade the Commanders made over the weekend. 5th round pick for Deebo Samuel. 2 words. Sign me up. Are you kidding me? We'll take it. 5th round pick. We get a year at Deebo Samuel. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We move on. We try something new next year. And who knows? Maybe the Commanders still draft a wide receiver. There's plenty of depth in the receiving room. Maybe they try to draft a guy like Nick Nash in the 2nd or 3rd rounds. Who knows? They might not be done yet, but here's a couple things that I do know. Okay. Number one, sure, Deebo has not had the greatest last couple seasons. He's been banged up. He's been hurt. People are calling him lazy. They're calling him out of shape. Look, I hear it, guys. Sometimes a guy like that needs a change of scenery, a kick in the butt a little bit, a reality check. And I'll tell you right now, Dan Quinn is not playing games. Okay. Kyle Shanahan, he might let you do your own thing. As long as you're producing and being a beast on the field, more of a player's coach. Dan Quinn ain't playing that shit. Okay, you're either here to lock in or you're not playing. Okay, so for 1 year we get Deebo, and I'll tell you what, even if he's a little washed, even if he's a little out of shape, even if he doesn't play every game, him being out there on the fields is an unbelievable benefit to this Commanders offense. Number one, because when he is healthy, he's going to be a beast. Number two, he's going to confuse all the defenses out there that are already confused, having to deal with Jaden Daniels running around, breaking tackles, being elusive, escaping sacks. They already got to worry about Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin. Okay. Now you got to worry about Deebo Samuel out there as well. And could he be used in the backfield a little bit more? We saw the 49ers get away from that in recent years. Maybe they're trying to keep him healthy. I don't know. But we got him for 1 year, and we're trying to make a fucking run. Okay. Back in the NFC. And we're going to be using him every which way. We're going to be using him in the backfields. We're going to be lining him up on the X, the Y, slot, whatever we need. Deebo is going to be everywhere. And as long as he's out there on the field, his benefit to this offense, even if it's not him producing himself, just him being out there is going to make Terry a much better player. And now, look, we have Terry, who's just great against man defense. Now we got one of the best wide receivers against zone defenses in the NFL in Deebo Samuel. So we got a little bit of both. You cannot convince me otherwise that this does not benefit the Commanders team greatly. I don't care if he ends up missing a couple games. I don't care if he's not his 2021 self. It doesn't matter. Okay? We'll take 80% Deebo, and that's going to benefit this team greatly. High risk, high rewards. I love the move, but I would not be shocked if the Commanders, aren't done beefing up that wide receiver room. Who knows? But great fucking move. Let's go, Mandos. Props to them for not waiting around, going out there, making a move early on. That's something I'm not typically seeing. Okay? W Deebo, W Manders, W Adam Peters. I'm fucking hype. And yeah, we took on all the money. That's okay. We have the second most cap space in the NFL. We got to spend it somewhere. Last year, we didn't spend any of it. We got to spend it sometime. Why not on Deebo Samuel? And look at the records up on the screen, guys. At the end of the day, all that matters is winning. And when he's out there on the field, he helps his team win. Plain and simple. Check the data, check the stats. They're right up there on the screen. Okay, when Deebo plays, his team wins because he's just impossible to guard. He confuses the defense. They got to watch out for everything, and he's going to make this Commanders offense even more dangerous in the Big 2-5. I'm stoked. W. Jesus coming in, resubbing as well. Let's fucking go, dudes. Let's fucking go. W. Jesus, we appreciate you, beast. All right, dudes. Before we get into the sharp report for today, before we get into it, I would love to take a peep at the MLB boards and see if we can craft up some sort of lineup for today. There is one square that I'm kind of looking at. It involves Jose Barrios, who is the most popular square for MLB spring training today. I kind of want to take his less than strikeouts. Look, he pitched a little bit over 2 innings already in the spring, and he has 2 strikeouts so far in the spring. I know his leash will be a little bit longer today, and he's going against a Tigers team that could be striking out, but most popular square on PrizePicks in MLB, 3.5 strikeouts for a veteran in Jose Barrios. I'm not trying to get super cute and fade Tariq Skubal. That could be a decent move. Instead, I want to fade Jose Barrios and take his less than 3.5 strikeouts. Okay? That's what I'm looking at for today. But I need a pair. All right? Caleb likes that play. Sure. Love to see it. Looks like we got some nerfy squares up now. Sure. These are new, fresh off the presses. Love to see it. We got Ryan Feltner, Tyler Anderson, nerfy. Bailey Falter, Max Fried, nerfy. That one's a little interesting because obviously Fried's a beast, but, Falter against the Yankees offense, kind of sketchy as well. Ryan Feltner and Tyler Anderson, I'd be more inclined to take that nerfy, right? I would. But certainly want to take Jose Barrios less than strikeouts. Does anybody in chat have a pair on the MLB Diamond for today? Would love to see it.
I got one.
Goots. Sure.
Corbin Burns sitting right there for you.
Well, Goots. There might be some spite fade involved in that, right? In that angle.
Or we can get our lick back with Lodolo because he was cake last time.
He was certainly cake. Dude could not find the strike zone.
No.
I was thinking about that. And he's one of the less popular squares up there today, probably because people are scared what he did last time.
Yeah. I also don't mind that Feltner Anderson nerfy. That's a crap square.
Yeah, I know. Tyler Anderson just goes out there and does job. He really does.
Wow. He had a good year last year.
He had a great year, man. He's unbelievable. He's one of those guys that was just unfadeable.
Yeah.
The books would say fade him, and he would never come through. Take it with James Wood season home runs. Z-Shrek saying, I'd probably rather take it with Aaron Judge less than home runs. But
good.
I like where his head's at.
Good nugget there from Jovan. Could be that.
Okay. Yeah, good point, Jovan. Geek Goot, 69. Goots, you related to that guy?
No idea that.
Geek Goot.
No,
okay.
Couldn't tell.
My pair is AJ Smith, less than 3 strikeouts.
Interesting.
You tell me you're not related to Geek Goots?
No Krabs. I mean, could be my burner. You never know.
It could be second cousin. He's just a solo Goot.
Yeah.
Not plural.
Yeah.
Goots. Okay. Singular Goot. Sure. AJ Smith-Shawver. Less than 3 Ks, huh? Geek Goot. Interesting. I don't know if I can get there with that. I'll be honest. I don't know if I can get there fading AJ Smith-Shawver against the Rays, but maybe Jovan can help us out with that angle. Old reliable would always be, just taking Berrios less than with Aaron Judge. It's been a couple days since we locked in one of those lineups. So if I don't see anything else that I'm liking or eyeing in the chats, might have to just go with the Judge.
Yeah.
2-piece.
Or the Nerfy.
Yeah, the Nerfy as well. Good points. What do you guys think, chat? You think we go Nerfy and Feltner and Anderson, or you think we just sack up and go Aaron Judge? For Goots, if there's a TGL square that you like in this early one, there's like a 3 p.m. TGL match today, guys.
I haven't even looked. Let me see.
Tiffany Hayes from Mook. Ooh. Okay. I think I'm going to go Judge. I'm going to go Aaron Judge less than. Still up there for 49.5. Still the first square that pops up in that category. TGL match today should be good. Yeah, both teams have clinched.
2 top teams.
Whoever wins gets the 1 seed, I think Goots is telling me before. Sure. Okay. Let's see. They got a couple holes 1 squares up there, Goots, but I don't know if they're looking at me that funny.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Fleetwood. I don't mind that one.
You're telling me they're putting a Tiger Woods holes 1 half square up there?
That's for tomorrow, but yeah, it's
Good
up
call.
there. Yeah.
Good call. I feel like that's probably going to go less than tomorrow.
It could.
What if we made it a 3-piece?
I don't know if I'm going to tell you to fade Tiger, but
Okay.
that's my goat. So.
Yeah. All right, I'll keep it a 2-piece out of respect for the goats. And yeah, we can see if Joshy has any TGL squares for tomorrow, maybe. We can get involved with that.
Yeah, I mean, his one last week was Morikawa, holes 1. That was there.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that again. He's great on the simulator, but Fleetwood stands out to me. Because
Tommy Fleetwood.
Bay is probably is the favorite for sure. I haven't checked the lines, but that's my guess, and I think I'm right on that. So I mean, if you want to go the contrarian angle, it'd be backing some LA guys.
Ooh.
And Fleetwood is one of them.
I love Tommy Fleetwood. He's never been able to really close out a tourney.
Yeah.
But he's a darn good player. He's always in the top 10, I feel like, in these tourneys.
I also wouldn't mind Roy back against the wall. They have to win to stay even relevant. And this is his league. He obviously cares about it.
Their team stinks.
Yeah, they don't have a win this season yet.
They stink.
They stink.
Maybe it's Rory tonight.
Could be.
More than half a hole 1. All right. Well, we'll pick that up later. Why don't we go 2-piece, keep it baseball. We'll go Jose Berrios less than 3.5 pitcher strikeouts, which starts up in about 10 minutes, guys. And then we're going to go Aaron Judge less than home runs for the season. Okay. If you want to get involved, I got the link right here. Okay. If anybody out there is as nasty as me and wants to get involved with an Aaron Judge fade on the season, here's the link. I know Caleb Muse is locking that shit in. There it is. Boom. All right. W Sweat for today. That one starts up in a couple here, guys. So keep me updated when Jose Berrios goes out there on the bump. All right. We're going to need to know when he's out there up and moving. Okay. Got to mix in a couple Judge over snacks. I don't know, man. Got to sink 10 entries. Yeah. There's just no way I'm locking that in. You're not wrong, but I can't do it. Okay. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving. Before we dive into the sharp report here, guys, for today, I did want to talk about the ASUN tourney. We do have a conference tourney going on today in college basketball, the ASUN only conference tournament going on today. There were a couple games last night, 2 games last night, and we got a couple games today as well. And I do have a play in one of them, and we'll get to that one in a moment here. But a couple games we got going on today in this conference. Eastern Kentucky, Jacksonville's going on. Queens, FGCU. We got our beloved Queens we could potentially bet on today. You got Austin Peay, who had that crazy comeback last night. Coach is in a full Army fit out there. How do we not bet on them or root for them today against North Alabama? A couple really good games today for this conference. And obviously Lipscomb, who is the minus 180 favorite to win this conference tourney, is minus 19.5 tonight against Central Arkansas. So a lot going on. Lipscomb is the heavy favorite. If I had to bet on, a team to win this conference, I would lay the juice with Lipscomb. I do think they get in here, and this team looks a little bit different this season. Been very impressed by this Lipscomb squad, and they do play tonight. They're laying like 20 points. So even if they don't cover, they're probably going to advance and move on. And I like their chances, although you got to lay some minus 180 juice. So that's kind of what I'm eyeing there in the ASUN tournament. And then we could talk about some of these other games here in a moment after we go over these sharp reports. All right, guys? The tournament is on their home court as well, Krabs. Lipscomb. Yeah, I think all the games are still at the better seeds home arena up until this point. They might do the championships. I got to look into it.
It probably changes either semis or finals. Finals for sure is neutral.
Yep.
But definitely these early rounds are at the home courts.
Yep. Yeah, so Jacksonville, Eastern Kentucky is down there in Jacksonville. I believe FGCU is hosting the game today as well against Queens. Yep. And then same thing with North Alabama against Austin Peay. That game's in Alabama as well. All right. W's. Gootsy, why don't we go ahead and hop right in and talk about the sharp report for today. We did the MLB lineup. All right. We did the recaps as well. We talked about Deebo to the commies. Why don't we hop in and talk about some of my favorite plays for today? All right. It actually starts out on the ice. Anybody else think it was kind of weird seeing Buffalo catching a little bit of steam on the roads? Well, what if I told you the Sabres are coming in off of 2 losses? They play the Canadiens tonight, coming in off of 4 straight W's. And these teams just played 2 nights ago. Let me repeat that. These teams just played 2 nights ago. It was in Buffalo, okay? But we saw the Canadiens pull off the upset in that game. They won outright. I think tonight's game goes much, very similarly, but with the teams flipped, right? You got the road team coming in now, catching some line respect after these guys just played 2 nights ago. I want to take the Sabres, a team that has not beaten the Canadiens since early on in 2024. They've lost 3 straight to the Canadiens. I think we see the Sabres show up tonight after 2 straight L's, and them catching a little bit of steam was kind of looking at me funny. There's a goals allowed square for the Canadiens goalie as well that they just put up, which is very interesting as well, especially since these teams literally just played 2 days ago, and he went less than 2.5 goals allowed. So I'm looking at the Sabres today. I like them on the ML. I think they get a big-time win on the roads. Thought that was some serious line respect for Buffalo, and I want to get involved. W Saberhood, Z-Shrek. Sure. Deebo to the commies is like Paul George to the Sixers. With all due respect, Krabs, a descending player getting paid big money. Well, Jason, we don't make the rules of this contract. That was already signed years ago, but we will pay the rest of his contract for 1 year. And I personally think it's worth it. See if he's got any gas left in the tank. Okay. Another college basketball play here. I know we just talked about the ASUN tourney. Why don't we talk about the ASUN? All right. I got a team that I like. I got a play already locked in here. +3.5. I think the spread is down to +2.5 most places right now. But I want to back Eastern Kentucky Goots against a Jacksonville squad who's home tonight, like you guys are saying in the chat, right? This is played on the home floor of the better seeded team. So this game is played in Jacksonville. Okay. But Eastern Kentucky is catching some steam here, which I thought was kind of weird, Goots, because their best player, George Kimball, just got surgery about a week ago, and he's going to miss the rest of the season. So he's going to be out. What makes this even weirder is Eastern Kentucky actually lost both games this season to Jacksonville. The first one, they lost by 7 in a little bit of a high-scoring game. The second one was way more low-scoring, and they lost by 4, 59-55. So it was a closer battle, but they still lost both games. And around this time of year, guys, in conference tourney season, an angle I love to lean into is these teams that swept during the regular season. When they face off in the postseason, it's really hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. It's almost impossible to beat a team 3 times in one season. Okay. I'm going to back Eastern Kentucky catching steam, short road dog. They should be getting more points here in this spot, in my opinion, because number 1, their best players out the rest of the year. And number 2, they've already lost to this team twice this season. And number 3, they're playing in Jacksonville. So we should see them getting a home court advantage. We should see an extra couple points added on the spread. Jacksonville should be getting, or laying 4.5, 5.5 points. They're only laying 2.5 now, down from 3.5. Something here smells fishy. I want to take Eastern Kentucky. Without George Kimball, no problem. I want to back the Colonials in Eastern Kentucky here, and they do have another really good scorer, okay, a senior in Devontae Blanton. So they got someone else who can step up. I know a lot of these mid-major teams, they only really have one guy. This Eastern Kentucky team has 2 guys. So we're going to need Blanton to step up here, and I think he can. Almost impossible to beat a team 3 times in one season. I got to see it. Give me Eastern Kentucky on the road as short dogs. Okay? Dubs. Last play here, you guys knew it was coming. You guys knew it was coming. Okay. Kansas plus 9.5. You knew it was going to be on the sharp reports. It has to be done. Okay. When I'm seeing players on Kansas posting full graphics that look like they were made by our guy Daniel, talking about how they're getting these crazy DMs and how they got to be better and how you can't close a game out like that. Yeah, this is a mandatory bet. I don't have a choice. They're down from 11.5 to 9.5. Okay, so clearly the sharp side here on the road against a Houston team that's on fire right now. A Houston team that is 15-1 at home on the money line this season. You're telling me Kansas coming off that embarrassing loss to Texas Tech when they were minus 4.5 favorites in a very sharp spot when guys like me all got burned on them this weekend? Who the heck wants to go back to them? I do. I might be solo on that one, and that's the exact spot we want to be in. Okay? Give me Kansas to keep this game within single digits. Love where the spread's at right now. It looks like you can lock in Houston, one of the easiest bets of the night, to win this game by double digits, laying minus 9.5. Minus 9.5, one of my favorite bets to fade in college basketball or just basketball in general. I'll take Kansas getting the points here on the roads in an insane motivational spot for Bill Self, who's coming out talking about, all the bullshit that they got to be playing better and, the fans got to be locked in. They can't be roasting these kids. Let's also not forget that when these guys played a couple weeks ago, the game was pretty close. I know it was at Kansas, right? But I was a little bit shocked. Kansas hung around in that game. They only lost by 6, and they put up 86 points as well. So I think Bill Self in a highly motivated spot here on the road in a must-win spot after getting absolutely embarrassed by Texas Tech in that last game. I think Coach Self shows up. I think Zeke Mayo shows up. And I think the Kansas Jayhawks play a little pissed off tonight. For the first time this season, they're going to have an edge, and they keep this game within single digits. Give me Kansas. That game was in Houston, scored 6 points in like 30 seconds to force OT. Yeah, crazy. Crazy way to lose. So add that to the list as well. Okay, give me Kansas. Okay, everything is coming together in this game. Rampage bets. Krabs, tell me the SEC to win the national championship at plus 120 isn't a great bet. Tennessee, Florida, Alabama, Auburn, Missouri. How's that not insane value? It is. I like that play, Rampage bets. I do. The problem is it's college basketball. It's madness. That's why we love it so much. And you really cannot pick out who the fuck is winning that tournament until championship night. Let's not kid ourselves here. I'm not the biggest college basketball future guy because those futures don't pay. The team that's supposed to win never wins. And if this year the SEC is stacked, I'm sure the ACC will find a way to come through and win, and it'll be Duke who wins that shit this year. So, Rampage, although I like where your head's at, and it makes a lot of sense, you're still getting the best conference at plus money, might be a little too easy. And I'm just not the biggest college basketball futures guy. Okay? But yeah, Florida. Interested to see how Florida plays in the postseason this year, man. Jovan might have been onto something there. Straight up. Okay. W Eastern Kentucky play, W Kansas play, and W Sabres. UConn. Wow. That'd be something if they have a three-peat with this team. All right, let's look at some PrizePicks squares. We got back to Malik coming in, dropping a 28-month sub bang. No way back to Malik. Let's go, dudes. Yes. Yes. Let's go, Malik. Sure we can. Appreciate you, Beast. The future is St. John's. Yeah, money talk. I don't know if I can bet on a team that can't shoot because at one point they're going to get so ice cold in one of these games in the tournament it's going to cost them a win. But, I mean, I'm not going to be fading. I don't know if I can be fading that coach. So I understand it. I get it. More than going to give up a first-inning bomb. Yeah, guys, let me know what's going on here with Jose Barrios. I think that's probably starting up here pretty soon. Okay? Dubs. Let's talk about some PrizePicks squares, but first we got Harris 22 coming in, resubbing 28. How about 34? Roll Tides. Okay, Harris. Flex on him, Harris. Sure we can. W resub on a Monday. Love to see that. Anybody hop in on TMA this morning? I'm sure a couple of you guys have probably not even left, right, since TMA this morning. W Mikey, W Joshy, W Rav. This AM, getting the day started, getting the week started. Always. Mikey's killing it, bringing the great energy. And he's been killing it with college basketball. So if you guys missed TMA, you can always go back and rewatch on YouTube at Bookit Sports. We talked Kansas-Houston already, W Ramble. We literally just talked about it, and I'm all over Kansas. Has to be done. I got to find out if it's fake sharp or not. I'm willing to pay to find out. Okay? PrizePicks Squares. We got one GOAT and we got one nasty one. Okay, John Morant, very rated out square here. Has not hit this in more than one of his last 5 games. But John Morant is minus 125 to the over on the books to bang 2 threes tonight. So that initially caught my eye. Then I went to go look at the game, and I'm seeing a total at 252 and a half. Are you kidding me with this total? My goodness. This total, not only did it open up extremely high, highest total of the day today, 250, it's up to 252 and a half. It's moving up. That's crazy. And in my opinion, I think we get some points in this game. I think we get a great game. Both teams have kind of been struggling of late. You got the Hawks who have lost 4 of their last 5. You got the Grizzlies who have lost 3 of their last 4 games. I got a good feeling about the Grizz tonight, though. Up to -9. I'm sure there's some injury shit going on with Atlanta, but I don't care. Total's up extremely high. I think we get plenty of points in this game. I think Grizzlies laying 9.5 is looking to be funny. I think they carry the workloads with the points there. They probably end up covering and winning by 10 plus as well. But I'm going to back John Morant, who hasn't done this in a while, in a great matchup against 2 teams who can score the fuck out of the basketball. I want to take him to bang 2 threes. Hasn't done it in a while. Juicy on the books. In a game where they cover, in a game where the total's high and moving up, I'll back John Morant for the first time in a minute to come through and bang 2 threes. Okay? Yo, Krabs, as a Rutgers student, can you give me any hope that we can make a run in a fraudulent Big Ten tourney and get a bit? Dude, I wish I could. I wish I could. Now, I'll give you a little bit of hope here. You do have 2 unbelievable freshmen who could take over any game, any given night and win. Now, can they put that together for 5 straight games, 5 straight days? Probably not. That's kind of where you lose me. But, I mean, Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey, there's really not a better combo out there. At least not a better freshman combo. I know the results have not really panned out like people were expecting up there in New Jersey, but I still think if there's any team in this tournament that people don't expect to do it and has the talent to at least show up and win a couple games in a row, it's probably this Rutgers team. Now, will you see me backing them? Probably not, because again, Rutgers, like Money Talk Sports is saying in chat, they're going to have a game where they just look like freshmen. They look like 17, 18-year-old kids, and they look like they don't know what they're doing. They run into a veteran squad that plays some defense. They're probably not going to be able to run the table. But could they rip off a couple wins in a row and impress some people? Sure. And knowing how this Rutgers season is gone, they probably do win a couple, pull off some upsets early on in that tourney, and then they lose, and they don't even make the tournament. So that's probably how it ends up playing out. They win 1 or 2 games, and then they end up losing, getting knocked out. Okay? Krabs, any bets for conference tourney futures? Yeah, Andrew, we're going to talk about that a little bit more this week, mainly tomorrow, to be honest with you, on the show, going over any futures we like in some of these bigger conferences, right? Because we got a lot of conference tourneys starting up this week. Absolutely blessed with the college basketball we have for the next month. We are blessed. All right, do not take it for granted. Lock in, enjoy the month of March. Let's make it our bitch. Plain and simple. Right, Goots?
You're right. Barrios about to start pitch.
Right.
Just finished the top half.
Anywhere to watch that game or?
Not sure. I got the Orioles on there on ESPN right now.
Okay.
Morton,
okay.
2 pitches, 2 outs. He's back, folks.
Krabs, I'm paying for our floor seat at Rutgers, Minnesota. Come fly out, dude. Where are they playing that tournament, brother? Where are they playing that tournament? When does March Madness officially start? I mean, Esther, you can make an argument it started last night, right? With the A-Sun starting up. You can make an argument it doesn't start until the actual big dance, right? It's, people got all their different opinions, but I think March Madness really started last night, to be honest with you, with the A-Sun getting up and moving. Okay. Gents Cup Sports, as a Braves fan, Goots, Morton will only piss you off this year. Godspeed. Godspeed. Okay. Well, let's keep moving and grooving here. All right, we got one more square to go over. Let me talk about this Northwestern fade. KJ Wyndham. Goots, this kid's been balling. I'm not going to lie to you. Of late, this kid's been balling. The freshman guards for Northwestern, he's only averaging about 5 points per game. That's because in the beginning of the season, he didn't do squats. If you look at what he's been going on of late, he's been playing way more minutes. He's coming off of a 20-point game. He's actually had 15-plus points in 3 of his last 5 games. That's pretty crazy. He's been jacking threes as well. I'm looking at this game tonight in college basketball. I'm looking at this Northwestern matchup, and I'm thinking maybe we don't get a lot of points in this game tonight. and maybe the freshman coming off a 20-piece does not find as much success against a solid UCLA Bruins defense, although they're on the roads. Still think they can show up, and this total dropping to 131.5 from 132.5 that I already thought was pretty low is a really good sign as well. So not seeing many points in this game. Wouldn't be shocked if UCLA wins and covers as well, catching some steam on the roads against a gritty Northwestern team that's actually ripped off 3 straight wins in a row. So I do lean UCLA, if you couldn't tell already. I lean this under as well. And I want to fade KJ Wyndham, who's been splashing threes left and right over recent games as well. Tonight, in a game with a low total, in a game where they don't shine, in a game where Northwestern is trying to replicate that success, and so is KJ in his recent couple games when he's dropped 15-plus points in 3 of his last 5. I think he struggles tonight against a really good perimeter defense and a really good just defense overall in the UCLA Bruins. Defense carries on the road, and it's going to carry tonight. Looking at that total drop in, I'm not seeing the freshman KJ Wyndham banging 2 threes once again like he's been doing of late. Okay? 2 nasty 3 squares up there today. You got one GOAT who's been cold of late, but I think he comes through tonight. And then we're fading one new freshman GOAT, a guy you probably haven't heard of, taking KJ Wyndham at less than 1.5 threes. Okay? I could drop the link to that 2-piece as well here if you guys want to get involved, because I don't know how long that John Morant square is going to be up. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I will drop the link to that 2-piece if you want to get involved. Okay, I already locked that puppy in. Sure. All right, let me know if Jose Barrios is doing anything, guys.
Gave up a single.
Sure.
Start the inning, and he's throwing 3 straight balls to Gleyber Torres. So, looking
Not
very solid
ideal
so far.
Not ideal.
Not ideal.
Okay. Well, he looks like shit. I guess it's better than him getting 2 strikeouts early on, but maybe he gets pulled. Right?
That'd be a good thing.
That would be a good thing. Although I learned the other day, Goots, that in spring training, you can pull out your starter.
You can.
Work on some things, tell him what he needs to fix, and you can put him back out there for the next inning. And I've seen that a couple times
in
in spring.
We'll see.
Okay.
That is an interesting wrinkle, especially for less than squares.
Yep. We'll see how it plays out. I appreciate the updates, Goots. You're him. Sure. All right. We'll W PrizePicks Squares in the Sharp Reports. I dropped the link if you guys want to get involved in the chat as well. Appreciate you guys tailing. Appreciate the vibes being up on a Monday. And all the W subbies as well coming in hot. All right. W's. I do want to spend some time potentially crafting up another PrizePicks lineup. But I feel like right now the time could be best spent maybe going over the slates. We'd be happy to start with college basketball as we get a Brian C. subby as well. Let's go, Brian C. At a baby. Much love, my man. 14-month sub bang. We appreciate you, Brian C. An absolute goat. You're a beast. Okay? Let's talk about the college basketball slate today. All right? It's pretty solid for a Monday. Not the best teams playing, but we got a couple good games. Let's talk through some of these that we haven't mentioned yet. Okay? I got nothing in Southern FAMU, I'll be honest. I wish I did, but I don't. Not going to force. W. Dead Larry Bird, Kansas State. KS, Alcorn, Queens, Northwestern. Sure. Texas Southern Alcorn is certainly interesting. I want to talk about that game since you're bringing that up in the chat. Alcorn showing a little bit of heart, showing some life of late. They have won 3 of their last 5 games. But this Texas Southern squad is finally healthy for the first time really this season. I know it didn't really show in that game against Jackson State where they lost 52-67 on the roads, but before that, this team looked like a whole new ball club once they got fully healthy. And I wouldn't be shocked if they come through with an upset here on the roads. I kind of lean Texas Southern. The line certainly says Alcorn, right? The line screams Alcorn, sharp play. Crummy team, doesn't even have double-digit wins yet. They're favorites against a much better Texas Southern squad. But I kind of want to square up and use my basketball brain here. And I think Texas Southern a little bit underrated now that they're back and healthy and coming off that loss. Before that, they were playing pretty good ball. Would not be shocked if they come through with a win on the road tonight. I kind of lean Texas Southern. I do. And let's go, Alan. W's, BTL, and lunchtime. It's like PB&J. We got an Adley nuke. Let's go, Gootsy. Dust off that damn card. I think it just gained 50 cents in value with that spring training nuke. There we go.
And a burial
W's. Okay. Is that the first out of the game? Okay. Let's get out of that inning then. With only one, please. All right. Dill God likes some of those plays as well that we were talking about. Love to see it. W. Antone with the follow as well. And Katie Betts, thank you for dropping the follows on Twitch. We are live on YouTube as well. Make sure you guys subscribe on the YouTube. It's free at Bookit Sports because we got some additional content over there as well. You guys can expect a March Madness pod. You can expect a MLB before the season pod as well coming up on the YouTube. So get ready. Make sure you guys are subbed up as well. Game of the year, Coppin State, UMES. Give me the POD over. Wow. Did not have that on the bingo card today. We'll keep that back pocket. I'm going to go in order here if we can. We will definitely talk about that game there because I got some thoughts. Wake Forest and Duke. This spread is ginormous. Ginormous spread. Will BTLB crafted an MLB season long? 100% OG. 100% we will be. Okay? Wake Forest is getting a boatload of points tonight, guys. And look, they're playing bad. I know they're coming off a win against Notre Dame in that last one. Sorry, Goots. They didn't cover. They've only covered once in their last 5, and it was against SMU in a weird, revenge angle type game where Boobie Miller, I forget if he even played in that game because he's been in and out so much, but you get that weird angle of the star player on the other team. So overall, Wake Forest, even with that win, has been all over the place, and they have not been covering. Duke, on the other hand, is just destroying teams. They are absolutely destroying teams. Now, with that being said, kind of like you're saying in chat right now, I think I lost it, but yeah, Gents Club Sports. Duke has no motivation to blow them out and will pull guys late, in my opinion, on short rest. Let's also keep in mind that Duke has a big game this weekend on Saturday against UNC on the roads. And I know, what do they have to get up for in that game when they already destroyed them once this season and UNC is a shell of itself? But I certainly believe that they're looking forward to that game more than they are this home game against Wake Forest on short rest. So, the line says Duke, right? Them opening up that fat number. The line says Duke, but the steam and my nasty contrarian brain scream Wake Forest. Okay? They've been playing like shit. Duke is starting to get crazy line respect. I'm not going to be able to bet it because I still think at the end of the day, that's way too many points to give a solid program in Wake Forest. It's 29. So I keep going back to that. But I do lean Wake. I do. They got to make Duke a disgustingly fat favorite. They keep covering and winning every game, right? The books are getting burned on Duke. They got to keep making them fatter and fatter favorites until they stop covering because they're losing serious coins on them. All right, this team's covering like it's their fucking job right now. You're going to keep seeing balloon spreads for Duke until you start seeing some ATS losses. All right? I do think it's Wake, but I'm not going to get there. Not going to get there. Let's talk about McNeese and SF Austin. Guys, you got to be very careful in college basketball going forward because you never know what teams are motivated. So you never know what teams are looking to play for something still. And this McNeese team, great year. Great year for McNeese. You got their team manager getting all the love and the respect and the clout on socials as well. It's just been a great year for McNeese. And they've clinched the 1 seed in their conference. They've already cut the nets. They got nothing to play for tonight on the road against SF Austin that's still trying to prove themselves and coming off of 3 losses as well for them. SF Austin certainly looks like the play, right? They kind of do, right? Bounce back spot after 3 L's. They're playing a McNeese team that has nothing to get up for. Well, with that being said, you're still seeing McNeese catch steam on the road, and they're up to 12.5 as favorites. That's crazy. That's crazy. So when everybody's saying SF Austin, yep, on senior night, great point in chat as well. Their last home game, coming off of 3 L's. They're the motivated team, right? And they lost by 20 already this season to McNeese. I'm kind of starting to think that McNeese catching 12.5 is a lot of respect in a game that doesn't mean shit for them. And I'm starting to think that maybe for shits and gigs, you see McNeese go out there and dominate. Okay? I kind of lean McNeese, and I'm starting to think that SF Austin on senior nights, hungrier dog, I'm starting to think they're a fake sharp dog. Yep. And I'm starting to think it's McNeese. National TV game, like you're saying, guys on McNeese are still trying to show out on TV. They got the scouts watching. I think it's still McNeese here in the spot. If it would have stayed at 9.5, I'd be more inclined to bet SF Austin. But it's up to 12.5 on the road in a game that doesn't mean anything. I think it still might sneakily for McNeese. I think they show up and cover. All right. Let's talk about Queens and FGCU here, folks. Do not let FGCU get hot. It might be too late. It might be too late. They've ripped off 4 straight wins in a row. They secured the 3 seed in their conference. Queens, on the other hand, they've been pretty up and down overall this season. They played well against North Alabama in that last game, the 2 seed in this conference, I believe, where they were +7 and they covered. They didn't win, but they lost by 5. They played hard. They've covered 3 of their last 4 games. I kind of wanted to take this Queens team. I'll be honest, getting 4.5 points. But what kept me off is the fact that Queens has knocked out FGCU in this tournament in the last 2 years. Okay, so the last 2 times these guys have faced off in the conference tournament, Queens has knocked out FGCU. So that might end up keeping me off of Queens in this spot. But with that being said, FGCU did beat this team when they played last, 60-47. So kind of sketch, but and this game is at FGCU as well. Okay, like I talked about earlier in the ASUN tournament, these games are played at the location of the better seat. FGCU has a home game tonight. And I will say, to be fair to FGCU, they have beaten Queens the last 2 times they played on their home floor. So you got a couple different conflicting angles there, right? I do like Queens. I just don't know if I'm going to get to the counter because Queens has knocked them out the last 2 years. Is Queens going to knock them out for 3 straight years? And this time on their home floor? I don't know. Kind of sketch. I do still lean the beloved Queens, though. And there are better coach squads, and they have more talent. I just don't know if I want to fade FGCU. Okay? Austin Peay and North Alabama. This one's interesting. You got Austin Peay creeping back last night and ended up stomping on North Florida, coming back and dropping the hammer on them in that game, winning outright. And you got North Alabama, who has not played yet in this conference tourney, right? They haven't played in a couple days. They finished the season pretty well, though. They won 4 of their last 5 games. I kind of think it's North Alabama here opening up -12 or -12.5. I know they're down to -11.5 now, some books, but I don't give a hoot. You got an Austin Peay team that was down in that game yesterday, and they left it all out there on the courts. They gave all their energy, and they had that crazy comeback, and they ended up destroying this team, by 21 points. Great performance, great game. I think we see North Alabama stomp on this Austin Peay team tonight, and Austin Peay has some seriously tired legs in the second half in this game. You got to cap for that a little bit here. And with a fresh North Alabama team, now this could be a market where you can bet them live at a better number, right? Maybe Austin Peay comes out, they got some energy still early on, they keep it relatively close. Could be a good opportunity to live bet this game, to be honest with you, if you have the patience. But I do lean North Alabama. I think they cover this game overall. They win by double digits. They win by 12+. The fresh legs are going to come through in the second half, and you're going to see a tired Austin Peay squad just trying to keep it in it, right? It might be closer early on, but I do like North Alabama, the 2 seeds in this conference, to show up with a big-time win. Okay? Houston Christian and East Texas A&M. I'll tell you what, you literally cannot pay me to bet this game. You cannot pay me the coins to place on this game. That's how unconfident I am in this game. Houston Christian, both these teams have been stinking it up of late, them and East Texas A&M. They both lost 4 of their last 5 games, right? But Houston Christian is catching a little bit of line respect, which I thought was weird. And hey, maybe it's because they beat this team by 4 at home earlier this season. But then you flip it around. Now East Texas A&M is home. Are they the sharp team? Right? But then Houston Christian's catching some steam, moving up from -1.5 to -2.5. And you're going to start seeing some -3s. I guarantee you by tip-off tonight for Houston Christian. I think it's East Texas A&M for me on the spreads. I don't know if I'm going to get there. But these teams only played once this season, not twice. Houston Christian beat them by 4, a very close game at their home field or home arena. I think this time around it could be East Texas A&M. Maybe pulling this puppy out. Okay? They only got 4 wins, and they're getting 2.5 points against a 12-18 Houston Christian team that already beat them once. I would say the sharp play is East Texas A&M. Okay? Another interesting game here that people are going to try to be getting cued on, and this one I could be more inclined. You got Norfolk State and NC Central. It's a sneaky good mid-major game, honestly, because Norfolk State, I believe, is already clinched. If not, you at least remember this team getting on ESPN the other nights with their stud guard having 2 hammer dunks and Scott Van Pelt gassing them up, right? It's been a good year for Norfolk State. People are starting to talk about their coach maybe moving on. He's been there forever, built this program up. They've done great over the years, and they're thinking maybe he moves on to a better team in the coming seasons. He certainly deserves it, okay? But looking at this spot in this game, Gootsy, let's not forget They only beat this team by 3 and 6 points the last couple times they played them. They only played once this season, and it was a 3-point game at Norfolk State. Now they flip it around. NC Central has a chance to build on that momentum, on that outright win against Howard in that last game, and maybe rip off 2 straight wins. Before that last win, they were the coldest team in the conference. They lost 4 straight. I think we fade Norfolk State today. They got nothing to play for. That's why they're laying -5.5 instead of -9.5 on the roads. They've already clinched. They got nothing to play for in this game on the roads. I want to back NC Central to keep it close within the number here and another Barrios walk. Sure. W chat, W update. Give me NC Central at home getting 5.5, 6 points. Okay. Vegas Tom said they didn't clinch. They need one more win. Wow. Well, looks like a pretty easy win here on the roads. We got Estamico coming in. What's up, Krabs? Can't wait for the winners. Let's go, Estamico. Had a baby. We got a first-time chatter, Katie Betts. But do we really think Duke going to win by 20 for the 4th game in a row? Yeah, Katie, that's kind of why at the end of the day, I still would lean Wake Forest. Okay? Dubs. And yeah, Norfolk State, guys, this team is legit. If you haven't heard of them, I know some of you guys are saying in the chat you're not hip to this team. They're fucking good. But I would rather get cute with NC Central today in this spot. And the other one earlier that we were talking about, McNeese, SF Austin. I think McNeese rolls there on the roads. But I think there's a better chance that we see this NC Central team pull off an upset here at home in a similar spot. Okay? Dubs. There you go, Trent. Good luck out there, my man. Good luck. All right, let's keep moving to grooving. A couple more CBB games here, and then we'll move on. I don't really have anything in CLA and UTRGV. I probably would lean UTRGV here, but certainly not confident enough to play it. Let's talk about Incarnate Word and Northwestern State, because this one was looking at me a little funnier. You got Incarnate Word ripping off 4 straight wins, 4 straight covers. Well, they're not the only hot team in this matchup. Northwestern State has actually won and covered 3 straight as well. And let me tell you this. We were on Northwestern State, I believe, in this first matchup back in December when they played Incarnate Words, and they came through and they covered that game. Now we're seeing Northwestern State as favorites at home against an Incarnate Word team that they literally have not lost to in at least 5 years. They've not lost to this team in forever. And Incarnate Words, I know they're on fire, just like Northwestern State is as well. Incarnate Word only +2.5 here on the road in the spots. This could be the time to maybe back Incarnate Words. On the road, +2.5. They're red hot right now. And they have not beaten this Northwestern State team in years. Okay? I think tonight we might get Incarnate Word as dogs in the year of the road dog. Okay? W's. Delaware State, Morgan State. Nobody's talking about Delaware State having a positive record this season. They were like one of the worst teams in college basketball last year. Shout out Delaware State. Getting their shit together. That being said, I kind of like Morgan State at home tonight. They have not beaten this Delaware State team since 2023. Delaware State's beaten them the last 3 matchups, including a 2-point win only a couple weeks ago when these guys played last at Delaware State. I think this time around we see Morgan State, hungrier team, in this matchup after already losing 1. I think they get their lick back. Morgan State is favorites. They get the job done. Okay? Double play on a 2-2 counts. Please tell me we got a double play.
That was good.
Let's
Hobby
fucking
buys.
go. Let's go.
He's in a 1-2 count right now.
Oh, Hobby's still batting.
No,
Okay.
Hobby grounded into the double play, 2 outs. So there's only 2 outs, and he ain't over yet.
Let's go, Goots.
Yep.
Sure we can. Hey, I'm Matt coming in, resubbing as well. Keep up the great content, beasts. W Bookit. W, hey, I'm Matt. We appreciate you as well, Goat. You're a beast. Thank you for resubbing. Okay. Would love to see a Hey, I'm Matt sell job on the Surge stream coming up. Krabs and Nike PrizePicks shirt is fire. I agree. I had to give you guys my Monday's best today. Okay. We'll head over to PrizePicks here in a little bit, and we'll try to craft up a lineup for tonight. Okay. But first, why don't we go ahead and finish off the college basketball slate? We're powering through it. Somebody mentioned earlier Howard coming off a bad loss to NC Central. Sure. They were dogs in that game, to be fair. But yeah, that was a game that they definitely could have won and come through in sharp spots. The game that's really looking at me funny that Howard lost recently was 2 games ago against Coppin State. You can't lose to Coppin State. Guys, I shared a baseball field with Coppin State in high school. With the college, Coppin State. Okay, they're a joke of a program. They're a joke of a school. You can't be sharing a field with a fucking high school team. What are we doing? That being said, Howard's going to be extra motivated, extra hungry to show up, show out on the roads against the hottest team in this conference, South Carolina State. South Carolina State is on fire right now, and they just beat the best team in the conference in Norfolk State in that last game. Okay? This team is 8-2 at home on the money line this season. They're 8-2 in their last 10 on the ML. They've been a wagon against the spread as well. South Carolina State, 15-9-1 against the spread compared to Howard. It's sitting at 9-15 against the spread. And of course, with these two teams, a couple games this season, especially early on, they probably didn't have lines and spreads. So might not be as many games there with the ATS compared to their actual overall records. But you get the point. Okay, Howard's been struggling. South Carolina State's been on fire. And the spread opened up plus 9.5. I don't even care if it's moved to 10.5. Okay. I think it's Howard here keeping this game close, maybe even pulling off the upset on the roads. Okay. We know Howard has one of the best freshmen in the country. This team got out to a great start this season, the Howard Bison. Maybe they could pick up, the pace a little bit and find some of that momentum they had early on. As long as they're feeding their stud freshmen, I like Howard's chances tonight. And nobody's talking about this kid who averages 20 points a game from DC, the hometown kid, Blake Harper. If you guys haven't seen him play tonight on this slate, you might want to for Howard and the Bison on the roads. I think he comes through again. I mean, you get a freshman averaging 20 points a game. I don't care what conference he's playing in. Kid's a fucking beast. Blake Harper, take us to the promised land tonight, my man. I might end up being on Howard on the road against the hottest team in the conference. Great find in chat. W's. And he's got 2 strikeouts, huh? All right. 2 Ks. Is he through 2 innings? I'm assuming. Cool. All right, let's finish up the college basketball slate here, guys. Another game that you brought up that I did want to mention, University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Sure. Had to bring this team up. They're playing against Coppin State, the squad that I was just talking about when I was saying you cannot lose to Coppin State. Well, Coppin State has played their best ball of the season of late. They've actually won a game. Like I said, against Howard, they covered that game. Obviously, they were dogs. They came through outright. And then their last game, they only lost by 4 to Delaware State. Well, this could be a good time to maybe fade Coppin State here, Goots. And I'm looking at University of Maryland Eastern Shore, a team that's also covered their last 3 games in a row. They're also playing pretty good basketball right now, though they're not directly resulting in wins. They do have more wins over the last week than they've really had all season, to be honest with you. They got 2 wins in the last week and only 5 wins overall. That's insane. So University of Maryland Eastern Shore is also playing some pretty good ball as well right now. And they've already lost to this team a couple weeks ago when they played at home. And they were minus 3.5. They lost outright by 6. Close game, low-scoring game. They played like shit. Now this time around, it's at Coppin State. You're seeing them lay the same fucking line that UMES was laying when they were at home and they lost outright. I think we take University of Maryland Eastern Shore tonight. I do. We take the Shoremen on the road getting 3.5 points. But I do think they could win this game outright. So I think this is one of those spots you could take the M out and fade Coppin State. Let's hope University of Maryland Eastern Shore closes out the season strong. And Coppin State's been playing way too good. They've already beaten them once this season. You can't lose to Coppin State twice in a year. If you do, you should have to disband your college basketball program. Okay, it's a new rule. And I just made up right now on the spot. My point is, you can't drop 2 to Coppin State. And I like University of Maryland Eastern Shore to come through on the road tonight. Okay? Dubs. Central Arkansas, Lipscomb. I talked about Lipscomb being the number 1 team in this conference, the only conference tournament going on today. Lipscomb laying a big old number. They're going to win, but they might not cover. A lot of pressure on the squad to show up against a moose shit team tonight. I would lean Central Arkansas on the spreads down from 20.5 to 19.5. I would lean them on the spreads, but I'm not getting cute, taking them on the ML or any stab like that. Lipscomb's winning this conference tournament. They are. Okay? A couple other games. Prairie View against Jackson State. I talked about Jackson State coming off that big time win in their last game. Don't let Jackson State get hot. It might be too late. They've ripped off 3 straight wins, 3 straight covers. They've won and covered 4 of their last 5 games. They are playing the best ball of their season right now. and Prairie View stinks. They just got beat 55-71 to Alcorn State. What a joke. But Prairie View only opened up plus 13.5 in this game. Something looks fishy. Something looks weird. And I certainly would lean Prairie View, who opened up that weirdly short number. I thought this would open up around 16.5, not close there. Okay? I would lean Prairie View against Jackson State, who is playing their best ball of the season right now. That opening spread tells me this game will be a little bit closer than people are thinking. And that's too many points to give in a conference game. Give me Prairie View. Give me the points. I don't even care if the line's moving the other way. Okay? I am on Kansas tonight, guys. We talked about it earlier if you missed it. You can always go back and rewatch on YouTube. Okay? Another couple of good games tonight that I do want to touch on. We got Wichita State, North Texas. Wichita State looks sharp, right? They're down to 7 from 8.5, I believe, where they opened up at. Well, they're playing a red-hot North Texas Mean Green squad that looks like they're the only team that could potentially make some noise in their conference tourney and maybe knock off Memphis. I wouldn't be shocked. I think North Texas is the only team that really can do it. Wichita's up there, though, as well. And besides that loss in that last game to UAB, before that, Goots, they were on fire. Wichita, the Shockers, they were shocking teams left and right. Okay? But tonight, they're catching some steam. They look pretty sharp as well. I can't get on board with the Shockers. I can't do it. I can't do it. They look like the sharp play. They're catching steam. They've already lost to this team once this season, right? But it was a close game, only a 4-point game. So maybe they keep this one close as well. No, I think North Texas rolls. I do. I think they're too talented. I think their defense suffocates the Shockers on the road. Look at this total down to 127.5. Let's not forget how good this Mean Green defense is. Okay, that's how they win games. And they won the last game 58-54. They held the Shockers at home to only 54 points on the roads. I don't even know if they put up 50. Looking at that total, this Mean Green defense is legit, folks. If you haven't gotten eyeballs on it, tonight could be a good night on ESPN2. The bright lights, Shockers versus North Texas. I kind of lean UNT, fading that reverse line movement. I don't even give a hoot. Okay? Can't get on board with the Shockers. I've heard that one before. Ah, shit, Richie. Splash Dre got a square for me. JJJ over 24 points. Don't overthink it. Didn't he just have like 40 last game? Atlanta way too small, 250 total. And I always hear everyone always on John Morant. God damn it. I'm on John Morant too today, Splash Dre. Oi. Watch the Grizzlies. JJJ is the main scorer. I also think he's going to be at the line a lot this game. Okay. Well, Splash, you are sharp, so I certainly will give that a peep. And we'll take a look at that square as well. I am already on John Morant 3s. Full transparency. Okay. W. Pega, thoughts on the combine, Milroe, growth spurt, Isaiah Bond, the QBs? Yeah, I got some thoughts on the combine. The Hokies showed up and they fucking dominated the combine. Anybody see that? Anybody see the Hokies show up?
That's not what he asked.
Well, he said, any thoughts on the combine? And here's my thoughts. The Hokies showed up and they took over the combine. They took over. You got Peebles running in 1.5x speed. You got Tootin, a top 5 running back in college football this past year, putting up the best 40 time in almost every category, putting up the best number for RBs. This kid's a fucking beast. And he's going in the end of the first round, I'll tell you right now. Some teams taking a stab on him. Daquan Felton showed up as well. Jalen Lane showed up as well. Dorian Strong did his thing. The Hokies showed up and they took over the combine. And it's pretty fucking sad that this happens almost every year with the Hokies, where the team goes 6-6 during the regular season, and then it turns out they have the most NFL players besides Alabama and the Blue Bloods in college football. So it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts that this team can't win with NFL talent every year. It does. But you're going to see all these guys go on and shine in the NFL. I'll tell you right now, Goots. Every name I just mentioned will be a starter in the NFL in the next couple seasons.
Thoughts on Bond saying he was going to break the record and not even coming close?
Yep. I like where his head's at. Always shooting for the moon. You can't set those goals too high, but certainly a reality check for Bond. Certainly a reality check for Bond. We got Chig69 coming in, resubbing. Let's go, Chigs. Attaboy. There we go. This running back class is stacked. No way Tootin goes in first round. I'm sorry. It is stacked. But I'm telling you right now, man, he might be RB1. on some of these people's big boards. At least RB2 or RB3. He put on a fucking clinic at the combine. Good for him. Good for him. And yeah, there's a lot of good running backs in this class. You guys are right. You guys are right. A lot of good RBs. But I think he's going to be going a little earlier than people think. Like he said, he thinks Dart should be second off the boards. Yeah, Jackson Dart getting some steam, right? Jackson Dart finally getting some gas for the first time in a while. I'm seeing some rumors, some reports on the feed that he might go into the first round. Wouldn't that be something? Yeah, if he goes after Ward's second QB before we see Shedeur Sanders, that would be absurd. That would be absurd. And I'm here for it. I am certainly here for that if that plays out that way. Who do you want the commies to draft? I wanted them to draft Nick and Josh's guy, Luther Burden, or Mbuka from Ohio State. I still wouldn't mind it, but now we probably got to go with a lineman, and we probably got to go with defense. So back to the drawing boards after we just signed a wide receiver. So I would have told you before the weekend a wide receiver. But now probably defense or O-line. All right? Dubs. Hey, we still got about 40 minutes, or sorry, about 20 minutes. It's 1:40 Eastern right now, guys. I got nothing else in the college basketball slate. Let me ask you, would you rather craft up a PrizePicks lineup for tonight, or would you rather me go over the NHL and NBA games? Let me know in the chat. You want PrizePicks lineup, or do you want NBA, NHL? Just drop PP, PrizePicks, or drop NBA/NHL. Let me know. You want a PrizePicks lineup, or do you guys want me to go over the games in the association and on the ice? Pretty easy. Krabs, Miami, Washington, a lot of rookies from the same draft class. Sure. All right, you guys want a PrizePicks lineup? Krabs, check out the Caps under tonight. 5.5 total sus after both goalies have been giving up goals. Interesting, Jake. You know, I was kind of looking at that under earlier. Caps have been struggling as well. We need their defense to show up for the first time in a while. They got another square up in the goals allowed category. Looks like they added the Sharks goalie Gorgiev. That square does not look that weird, although it's higher than the others at 3.5 goals allowed. I'll tell you a couple squares that were looking at me funny on the ice. Was that Sergei Bobrovsky more than 2.5 goals allowed after a shutout against Calgary? That one was looking at me funny. It looks like Berrios is giving up singles right now. Let's fucking go. Come on. Pull him out of that game before he gets hurt. Right? Yeah, they have two squares up here that were kind of looking at me funny. They got that Sam Mottenball. Definitely said that wrong, but don't give a hoot. 2.5 goals allowed square after he gave up 3 in the last game. Kind of wanted to take the more than there because besides that, he's been nails overall in his last couple weeks. I thought about maybe taking the more than on Sam Mottenball, more than 2.5 goals allowed, or maybe taking the more than on Sergei Bobrovsky.
Krabs, that Georgiev square might need a look.
You think so?
You know how many goals Maple Leafs scored yesterday?
A lot, probably. What, like 6? What the?
6.
Okay.
In overtime against Penguins.
Huh. And he's coming off giving up 4 in his last game.
Yeah, he's pretty consistently giving up 3 by his chart.
Yep.
I don't know if I've ever seen a 3.5 goals allowed square up on the board before.
Yeah, those are not very common.
No.
Right?
I mean, Georgiev's terrible. That's why he got traded from the Avs to the Sharks for Blackwood. But, I mean.
Sure.
I don't know. That's high.
Yeah. Do we like the under in the game, chats? Sharks and Toronto, 2 teams moving in opposite directions?
I mean, yeah.
Both teams are coming off of overs in their last game. Sharks put up 3 themselves, gave up 5. Toronto in their last game, 6-5. Crazy game. Maybe it's that less than Goots. And you're saying he's quail shit. Who wants to lock in that less than?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, not many people probably will, especially against one of the best teams in the league.
Okay. Chat saying 3-1 count, and he walked him. Bases cocked.
Yeah, they got.
He's struggling right now.
Yeah, he really.
Can we pull? What are they trying to prove? Is this the fucking spring training World Series?
I don't know.
Get him out of here.
Mound visit at the moment could be.
Get him out of here, bro. Pull him. What are you trying to prove? It's Berrios.
They didn't pull.
Okay.
Still on there.
Okay. Any outs?
1.
Okay. Let's roll one here, huh?
Actually, yeah, 1. Yep.
Okay. Sure. Let's get Minter up and moving, UB Bulls.
Minter up moving.
Sure.
He's good.
All right, Goots. That's an interesting square, man. Gorgiev less than. Keep that one back pocket. All right. Sure. I bet he did. I want to talk about some NBA squares. I want to get chat involved because I know they all have a couple squares. I've seen a couple throughout the whole show, right? You guys got some NBA angles. I want to hear them. I don't remember a lot of the ones that I saw earlier, but now's the time to drop them. Now's the time to drop them. Okay? If you guys have NBA squares you like, drop them now. Even if you did earlier, remind me. I feel like Sar and Ware is going to be a great battle. And Keyshawn George back in Miami. You got any squares in that game or angles? Splash Dre, good on you for shouting out Keyshawn George, who's been balling out for the Wiz Kids. This kid's a good player. He's leading the rookies in steals per game. He plays defense. He hits his threes. He's an effort guy. He knows what he's doing. He never looks lost out there on his assignments. Do you guys agree with me? You know I'm biased as heck, but Keyshawn George is really fucking good. I think he's pretty fucking good. And him and Bub Carrington, 2 pretty good picks in that first round. I'm pretty excited. Or I guess Bub was later on maybe, but and Sar's been doing his thing too. So looking at this game, Wizards and Heat. I mean, I always listen to Jovan when it comes to the Heat, and he always says the sharper they look, the less they come through. I wouldn't say they look sharp today. I'd say the Wizards probably look like the sharp play today, so the Heat probably come through and win. Krabs, Mikey here. Go ahead and get Chris Middleton threes up and moving. Sure he can, Mike. Mike, 2 words. Sure he can. Was I fucking that square this morning? I'm just happy someone brought it up. Certainly we could put that square in here. And maybe it's better off you guys get a look at it. Sure. No way they took off his normal square there, Goots. Fuck. And he just got a strikeout. Barrios. A lot of stuff going on right now, Goots, and it's not good. Did they take off the Middleton square? They did. Those sons of guns. Now it's a 2.5. Well, you'd still put the demon in there. He's getting pulled right now, chat saying. Barrios getting yanked. Let me know if he actually gets yanked. I want to know if you see eyeballs on it, chat.
I mean,
Eyeballs.
there's a mound visit going on right now, but I mean, if they pull him, I doubt they put him back in. So,
Yeah.
but can I have to sweat that for the rest of the game?
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Imagine. Goes out there and strikes out the side. Next inning. Krabs, thoughts on Maxi PRA? Well, hold on a second here, because I have not moved on from Middleton. Because I was looking at that 1.5 threes, and it looks so good. It looks so good. Let me pull up the odds for that game and see what's going on and why they took it off. What a shame. Yeah, it looks like it's minus 120 for his more than 1.5, and they took it off only at that price? Really? Huh. I'll tell you what else scares me in this game. The total dropping 7 points. I know the Wiz Kids have been playing better defense since Kyle Kuzma's lazy ass got out of here, but you're telling me that total's dropping that much? That's kind of crazy. I mean, if you look at the Wizards' recent games, though, they are playing in a lot more low-scoring affairs. So, interesting. And he got yanked. Let's fucking go, Pega. Sure we can. Sure we can. Let's fucking go, Goots. Yes. Good. All right. Chris Middleton certainly worries me with that total, and it's certainly beat that they took off that normal 3 square for him. He's definitely hitting at least 2, but is he hitting 3? I guess is the real question. We'll pull up the rest of the Wiz Kids and see who else is showing up and showing out. Like Sar's points are looking at me kind of funny as well, and his rebounds. Could it be a Sar legacy game? Certainly not Bilal Coulibaly. Looking at his squares. All right. We're going to roll with Chris Middleton. And we're going to take his demon threes. He's hitting 3 tonight for the first time in a Wizards uni. I'm trusting. Wizards always play to the last whistle. Any under scary, they're committed to trash time. Yeah, I agree. Couple other squares. Where just got ruled out. Well, that makes sense as to why SAR squares are going crazy. Right? Potentially Jordan Clarkson up and moving after scrolling. Only 2 points last outing. Okay. Let me look at Jordan Clarkson. I mean, he's coming off a moose shit game. He's got a 1.5 goblin threes. Well, besides last game, it's been green as ma. Any other nasty squares you guys are looking at?
I feel like Jordan Clarkson usually follows up a moose shit game with another moose shit game. So.
W Geek Goot. Yep. W Geek Goot with that AJ Smith Shaw over less than. Good call, Geek Goot. That's on me. That's on me. I should have tailed. Max Christie. What do you guys like for Max Christie tonight? His squares look pretty good. God, even his rebound squares looks weird. What about PR for Max Christie? 17.5. Read it out point square, read it out rebound square. They play the Kings tonight. I believe they're getting some serious line respect. Kings should probably be favored at this point. You guys can tell me if you disagree with how the Magic have looked, right? Post Luka. I'm taking Bridges threes. Krabs Mikey here have a gross hockey square. Yeah, sure. Sure. Let me know. But I'm looking at that Chris Middleton 3 square. That's probably going to go in there, Mike. Max Christie, more than points and rebounds, 17.5. No Sabonis tonight. Okay. Sure. Alex Lafreniere to get a point on the ice. Potential square of year. Bro, that guy's literally my doppelganger. Let me pull him up, bro. That's my twin. Alexis Lafreniere. Right? And they got an Alex Lafreniere as well now. That's the one you want. Okay. That's the one he wants. That's not the guy that looks like me. That was the other guy on the Rangers, obviously. But all right, you want to go with Alex. He's coming off of 4 redded squares against the Blackhawks tonight. Total in this game, the juice is moving towards the over. Are we going to start seeing some 6 popping up? I mean, either way, the Kings have been struggling mightily. The Blackhawks are coming off a big win. I would lean the Kings here to get it done, and they are minus 250, not a hot take, right? That's a decent-looking square, Mike. Alex Lafreniere, more than half a point for the LA Kings tonight. Okay. Normal square after 4 goose eggs in the category. Okay. Yeah, I'm in, Mike. I'm fucking in. Dialed. Okay. Right now, I got Chris Middleton 3s. Demon, 2.5. I've got Max Christie, more than points and rebounds combo, 17.5. And I've got Alex Lafreniere, more than half a point. I would love to get a college basketball square up and moving and make this a extremely diversified portfolio. And I'd like to keep out the 2 sharp report squares if possible. So now's the time. If you guys have any college squares you like, let me know. Let me know. LaMelo PRA must be looked at. Okay, yes, I've seen that a lot today. I know I just said I went to college, but I will give that a look. Let's go look at LaMelo, who, by the way, has a normal 24-point square that's hidden. They put up a goblin square. Maybe we go LaMelo 29.5 to just go fucking nuts. He's got a 6 assist square that's extremely red as well. Might have to go PRA for him, to be honest with you. What about that Howard freshman? Does he have a square, Krabs? Great question. I don't think they do have Howard squares up, unfortunately. The only time they would have those up is like on a slow Sunday. Hildreth under points against Duke. I don't know if I could do it. Let me go look at Hunter Salas. 16.5 points. Pretty green. Against Duke tonight. Yeah. Dude, that game is fucking weird, man. Yeah, it is. Jeez. That's crazy. Chaka went to middle school with him. That's also crazy. Let me see. Wake Forest. I don't know, man. That game makes my brain hurt. I'd like to keep squares out of there. And yeah, Blake Harper. Actually him. All right, I think I got the 4-man right here, folks. And it does involve a demon. So this will be a little bit juicier, which ain't no problem. This is an 18Xer. Wow. Okay. Only one demon as well. Chris Middleton, more than 2.5 3-pointers made, demon. We got Max Christie, more than points and rebounds, 17.5. We got Alex Lafreniere, more than half a point. And we've got LaMelo Ball, more than 35.5 PRI. Okay. That's a 4-piece right there that I'm locking in. 18Xer. Those don't grow on trees. Get involved. And hey, if you're feeling even crazier, you can even put a little flex slot up in there and hope it goes 3 for 4 as well. Okay. All right. You guys want the link to this puppy or what? So you don't have to type it in yourselves? Happy to help. And then we're going to get to the squad right here in a moment. Okay. Here is the link to Tail the 4-man that we just crafted up, a diversified portfolio. You got NBA and you got NHL. Here's a link. Get involved. Would love to hit a lineup involving LaMelo Ball. It's been a while for me. It's been a while. Maybe that's a good thing. Okay, and WEA lads coming in resubbing as well, along with Chaco resubbing. I appreciate you guys. Gootsy, if you're ready, my man, why don't we go ahead and run that shit? I'd love to get the squad right up and moving. Go ahead and run it. I want to see that damn train. All right, chat. W squad ride on Friday. Way to close the week out strong. A green week of squad rides last week. Try saying that 3 times fast. Let's run it back. Let's go 3-2 this week. Let's go 4-1 this week. Shit, let's go 5-0 this week. Why not us? It starts tonight. Where are we going? Where are we dropping, boys? What plays are turning green that you guys heard today? I'll be honest, I cannot rest head on pillow if Kansas is not in here. I cannot rest head on pillow. You don't have to vote for it, but I cannot rest my head on my pillow tonight without putting Kansas plus 9.5 in here. I can't do it. So we're putting them in. Kansas plus 9.5. Okay. What else you guys liking today in the chat? Let me know. Now's the time. And guys, we do have the Surge stream starting up right after this. Please stick around. All right, get those sell jobs ready. Is there a reason why there's no PP squares up for the Kansas-Houston game? Could be some injury news. And yes, Matt Gauthier, good reminder, it is Public Monday. But if they pay out the other sides, I don't even know what to make of it tonight. You can't pay out Houston. At some point, they got to cut it. You can't just let people keep making money on Houston. Thought could throw the Sabres in there. I kind of agree. I think that's a great looking play. Sabres minus 110. Let's put them in that puppy. Okay. Sabres money line. We could just make it a 3-piece and put Eastern Kentucky in here and go with the Sharp Report plays. I wouldn't be opposed. I do think Eastern Kentucky is one of the sneakier plays on the slate today, and I think it was probably my best sell job, to be honest with you. Why don't we put that puppy in there? I know it's at 2.5 now. I honestly think they win. But we'll take the plus 2.5, and we'll ride with that. Let me make sure there's nothing else up on the board that I'm missing. I want to take a quick scroll through the boards and make sure there's no plays that we fell in love with during the show today. Got to make sure we have all of our bases covered. I do like Howard plus 10.5 a lot against South Carolina State, one of the hottest teams in college basketball. I also like University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Those are 2 plays that were kind of looking at me funny. I'd say those are probably my 2 faves. Krabs, what do you think about the Lightning at the Panthers at plus money? I mean, the Lightning are absolutely on fire, so that doesn't really help. I probably don't really have a lean in that game. I think it's, Florida catching 10 cents of steam is just as weird as Tampa opening up plus 125. So I got no read in that game. I think we'll keep it to these 3 plays, Goots. Let's go 3 plays, 3 winners. We'll stick with the Sharp Report plays, the plays that I fell in love with earlier today. 3 plays, 3 winners. You got 2 minutes to lock in your vote, and we got the surge stream starting up right after this, guys. So stick around. Get those sell jobs ready. All right, get prepped and don't go anywhere. We got the surge stream starting up right after this. Okay, and W lads again for that sub. Okay. Z Shrek. Yes, DM me. We'll get you taken care of. If the tweet's not pinned, you should still be able to find it and search it. But hit us up, Z Shrek. We'll make sure you're taken care of. Okay. W stream today. All right, great work. A lot of subbies, a lot of energy, a lot of hearts. A lot of heart today from you guys. Love to see it. Okay, we made a new friend in chat as well with Geek Goot, who might be Goots' second cousin. Cannot confirm or deny. Okay. And also the Sabres. Yes, C-Shrek. Sure. Krabs, you mind getting in the lab tomorrow? I'll be at Seton Hall Creighton game. Need a lock from you. Is that spread out yet? Be happy to take a peep at that while we're waiting for these votes to get in. Do we have a spread up and moving for that game yet or no? Because it might be a little too early before we start getting tomorrow's spreads up and moving. But I can tell you right now what I'm going to be on or what angle I'm going to give you. Certainly not back in Seton Hall after, a great ball game and covering against St. John's. And they've covered 4 of their last 5 games. And Creighton's coming off an atrocious loss. I'm going to be on Creighton in that game. I'll tell you right now. I'm going to be on Creighton on the road in that game. Okay. They're probably going to be laying, if I had to guess, 7.5 on the road, 6.5 on the road. And they probably come through and they're a really good looking late piece. Okay. Krabs, when are you redeeming yourself on a celeb softball AB? Dude, yeah, I need to get some redemption going with that. It'll be the worst about of my life. All right, guys, get those votes in. You got about 1 second left. Who's it going to be? And wow, Kansas winning the poll. I did not think that was going to happen. And I'm happy with it. I'm cool with it. All right, W play back in the Jayhawks when they've been the hungriest they've ever been. This is the hungriest Bill Self has been in years, decades maybe even. Hungry dog runs faster. Kansas keeps it within single digits. All right? And we'll catch you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. We appreciate all you guys joining. Stick around.